What's going on? What's going on, y'all? I think I might have calmed down a little bit over the past hour or so. Be prepared to be tortured by FD clip speaking about the Tory Lane situation. And it perfectly encapsulates, excuse me, much of what we speak about here in the Black Manosphere, about the antagonism, about the mocking, about the making fun. And y'all seen the title, We Gonna Make You Mean That. Dear FD, let us find out once again that y'all are on the wrong side of history with the Meg the Stallion situation. Y'all have chosen your side, whether it's you, whether it's Ole. Shout out to Ole. We appreciate defense attorney. Yes, we get it. We get it. Whether it's consciously, but particularly for you, foreign and consciously, the antagonism towards straight men, y'all feel like y'all punching up, right? Cool. Mocking, making fun of. Yeah, I heard what you said about no one is more deserving of what happened to Tory Lanez. Oh yeah, yeah, that slipped out. Yeah, I heard you. Right. And we gonna make y'all mean that. But I just want y'all to appreciate. I'ma love to see how y'all explain to women, particularly black women, how to be comfortable with their rose toy and how y'all gonna be pretend like they're okay with being that. Right? And shout out to Kim Foster, who actually had the ovaries to admit, yo, they grieve it, they grieve what they were socialized with. Yeah, all of that. We gonna make you mean that. Once again, the majority of men in America are not interacting with any manosphere or black manosphere content. I see how you trying to respond or react to what I say when I say that, and you say something like, and he said this in the stream, y'all hear it. Essentially, the default is to be misogynist or misogynoirist, right? That's the default. So it doesn't have to be podcast dudes. So you see, it's just a coincidence, right? I'll say something and FD will seem like he's responding to it, but it's just a coincidence. BGS will say something and these people will seem like they're responding to it. Shout out to you, Khadijas, but it's just a coincidence. Y'all could do whatever y'all want to do with this content. Y'all could produce whatever you want with your field pieces, which y'all call think pieces. Hey, prepare to watch black women suffer, bro. And there you go. Black women won't get on our program. We gonna let them feel it. Whatever white folks want to do to them, so be it. Whatever white men want to do to them, so be it. Ain't no community if black women are not on black men's program. And I said it. And what y'all gonna do about it? Huh? There's no community. If black women are not on black men's program, ain't no community. Hopefully y'all will find enough white women who have some sympathy for black women, and they'll sprinkle some crumbs off of their table for black women with programs and set asides. If not, I guess they'll eat the antagonism that Kim Foster produces for against black men. I guess they'll do that. Yeah, I guess they'll eat that. I guess they'll survive off of that. We ain't even gonna talk about Prosper. That ain't happening. Huh? So shout out to FD, shout out to Foreign, yeah, Saint Cyr, shout out to you. I saw that email you sent over for Ole talking about the Tory Lanez thing. I listened to that joint for 5 minutes. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to come back to this. All I had to hear was consciously do the as a black man. Oh boy. Once consciously did the as a black man, and he started getting real smug with it. Yep, yep, yep. There you go. Yep, yep. Everybody low key on that side, they're all saying the same thing. Tory Lanez low key deserved it, and then they'll reel back a little bit. Not saying he deserved it because of violence and incarceration and violence, and this is why I'm anti-incarceration and the incarceral state and but huh? I love it. We gonna make the women feel that. Don't worry about it. That's why your sons is popping up with Latinas now. Huh? That's why your sons are popping up with white girls now. Don't ask them. They're not going to tell you the truth. Huh? Oh boy. So I'm going to prepare everyone now. Mr. Z might be dropping some F-bombs. And this might be profanity early in Monday morning. My apologies, everyone. My apologies. But it definitely warrants it. We gonna make the black women. This is what y'all on now? Huh? Tory Lanez gets stabbed up and y'all make it. Then Ole have Keating James or antagonistic mean ass up there. Well, don't worry, we gonna make y'all feel that, dear Ole. You gonna be straight. Keating Jade is probably gonna be straight, huh? Kim Foster's gonna be okay. The masses of black women, huh? Once again, the majority of black men do not interact with any of the black manosphere. They don't have to. The women are asshole enough. The women themselves and the way they behave, the way the average black woman behaves, the way the average black woman speaks, that alone kills the erection. Don't worry about it. It's not the black manosphere. Don't worry about it. Huh? Say it one more again, Z, for the people in the back, for the slow folks. Huh? For the people picking their nose and digging in their ears. Once again, the majority of black men do not interact with any black manosphere. The reason why they want to stay away from your nieces and your daughters and black women of any age is because black women, oops, and saying that their default is some type of misogyny or some type of misogynorism. They ain't hearing you, FD. They don't care about nothing you talking about. FD got 1 million subscribers now. That's cool. Are black women getting married more? Oops. Okay, fine. Y'all don't care about marriage. Y'all get partnership. Are black women getting more coupled up? Oops. Are any man subsidizing women, black women in particular? Yikes. Or are black women all over these interwebs screaming because they lost 106,000 jobs last month? Uh-oh. I told y'all JD Vance had something for that ass, didn't I? Huh? Black women were floating on a balloon that was created by white women's largesse. They were floating in a cloud created by white liberal women's largesse, by white liberal men's largesse. We're not talking about hardworking black women. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, but that don't really mean anything in an anti-black, white neo-colonial settler state. Y'all should know better. And what happens when white conservative men break the back of their white liberal sisters? What happens to black women then? And y'all still want to be antagonistic? We got something for that ass. Dear FD, black men's indifference got something for that ass. Black men's apathy to black women's plight got something for that ass. And it don't work the same way, and you know it. It don't work the same way the other way around. Huh? Uh-oh. So, y'all could keep on being antagonistic. Y'all could keep on mocking. Y'all could keep on trying to insult. That's cool. Your son's here. Yes, FD, you have 1 million subscribers. That means nothing because black women still gonna be out here in the struggle when all of you cornbread tube and your antagonistic thumb on the scales for the lady's ass. Believe all women. It looked like Meg might have lied. When and if and when y'all find out Meg the Stallion lied, what's gonna be the excuse now consciously? Huh? So y'all could throw that in the pile with BLM. Y'all could throw that in the pile with Carly Russell, with Juicy Smouye, with Rhoda Brickface. Huh? These women heard you. They know they can lie. They can lie on black men's peen. They can lie about having sex. Imagine Meg Thee Stallion lied about having sex with Tory Lanez like she was a goddamn white woman in the 1950s. Oops. And I don't see none of y'all bring that up. Uh-oh. Because be very clear, these people aren't dumb. The Olays of the world, the FDs of the world know exactly why they never bring up that she lied about having sex. Meg Thee Stallion lied about having sex with Tory Lanez. Huh? Hey, Saint Cyr, I'm just saying. And Saint Cyr says, damn, Meg is Carolyn Bryant? Huh? What makes fools of you, that's why I said these people would rather be fools than be seen as losers. What makes fools of these folks is simple. What makes fools of them is that they chose a side and they put their thumb on the scale for that side. They default to that side. And they would much rather be seen as fools. They would much rather be seen as fools than be seen as losers. They chose that their side is antagonizing black men, mocking black men, insulting black men in defense of wayward ass black women. Because in their mind, there's a hierarchy here, and they're quote unquote punching up when they're mocking black men and being sassy and smug to black men and being antagonistic to black men. And your sons see that. Young black men and boys see that, and they go left on your ass. And all they need is one Latina or white woman to break a smile, and it's over. All they need is one white woman or Latina, maybe if they could get an Asian away from the white guys, and it's over. Antagonistic, mean, rude black girls and women helped by antagonistic, mean, rude black men who antagonize your ass, or the white girl who may or may not be anti-black, or whose family may or may not be anti-black, but at least she broke a smile. At least she shows that she's lustful towards you. Yikes. Huh? At least she doesn't demand that you bow to her and bow to the black gynocracy. Huh? Yikes. So fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. We're gonna play this in just a second, you guys. Y'all give you a second. We're gonna play this in a minute. Let me do this first though. And we're back. And we're back, right? Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use, right? Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. All right. So we'll be covering this. It's not a 20-minute or 30-minute long, so y'all ain't gonna be tortured too long. Prepare for the waterboarding. FD up to his usual FD tricks. Once again, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Okay, y'all. Prepare thyselves, right? Prepare thyselves. And here we go, y'all. Here we go.
There's an industry, especially online, of misogyny and misogynoir. And I want to be clear, misogyny is the hatred of women. Misogynoir is the hatred of black women. And people do...
Industry has formed. Meanwhile, the women being mean, antagonistic, rude, all the damn femcel women, femcel black women, the black women who are not actually femcel but push that type of worldview, that idea, that ideology to non-black women, to black women, excuse me. All of those, we don't got nothing to say about that. Ain't nobody critiquing that, huh? By the way, notice something. Khadijah's getting into the pop culture conversation more and more. FD, a number of these folks, y'all ain't gonna win this. I see what y'all doing. Oh, y'all chasing after us. Y'all think y'all gonna win this by what? Reinterpreting the behavior? Nice try. The women are assholes, mean, smug, and we gonna leave them out there so that y'all can marry them and practice polygamy. FD, y'all better fight for these laws because these women gonna be starving and we're gonna be stepping over their dead bodies. They starving ass bodies. Y'all ain't gonna be able to reinterpret the women's bad behavior, bro. Khadijah, Kim Foster, FD Signifier, waving the red flag. They're assholes. They're exactly what y'all wanted them to be. Mean, antagonistic, rude, smug assholes. And when they get caught up, they feel like I was punching up. I'm punching up. Huh? Continuing.
Negative attention to the things that women do. And we eat this up.
Let me play that over. Let me play that over because Mr. Z over here getting in the way. Let's play that over. Wait a minute, yo.
Oh, Darius Williams getting. There's an industry, especially online, of misogyny and misogynoir. And I want to be clear, misogyny is the hatred of women. Misogynoir is the hatred of black women. And people do things to draw negative attention to the things that women do. And we eat this up. Oh,
people do things to draw negative attention to the things that women do. That's real slick phraseology right there. That's real slick. FD, you might consider running for politics. You might consider it. People bring negative attention to the things that women do. You mean the negative things that women do? People point and be like, do y'all see that negative thing she did? I get it. Now that it's not just mainstream media, now that we can actually record the women and the women are recording themselves being assholes, lying, murking men, setting men up, huh? Now that the women, once again, the internet will expose us all, as Mr. Z been saying for years now. Now that the women are exposed, and mainstream media can't hide their misbehavior, and elite rich white men can't use the women as a buffer. Now we're drawing negative attention to what the women are doing. Oh, it's not that the women are doing anything negative. We're drawing negative attention to what the women are doing. Huh. Thank you, D. They record and post their own videos. The women are recording themselves, FD. The women on Pop the Balloon sign up. They go on there and they're rude, mean assholes. Materialistic assholes. Talk about objectifying. The women are objectifying the men for their wallets and for their height, for their stature. The women themselves are making your job difficult, FD. The women themselves are making your job difficult, Kim Foster. The women themselves are making your job difficult, Khadijah. The women themselves are making your job difficult, T Noir. The women themselves are making your job difficult, waving the red flag. The women themselves are making your job difficult, Nappy Headed Jojoba. The women themselves are making your job difficult, Cat Black. The women themselves are making your job difficult consciously. The women themselves are making your job difficult, foreign man in a foreign land. The women themselves are making your job difficult. How long can you do this, Z? For a long time. The women themselves are making your job difficult, Lil Bill. The women themselves are making your job difficult, Andrewism. It's the women. Uh-oh. They're recording themselves. Huh? They're not being goaded into this. They're not being prodded into this, Z, right? They're not being pushed. They're not being antagonized. It's not setup questions. It's not lead-on questions. Absolutely not. The women speak like this off the cuff. Huh? Dear Olay, dear Keating Jade, huh? Dear Delaney, huh? Mark Lamont Hill, the women, black women are making it difficult for y'all. Y'all are lose. I just want y'all to realize you're engaging in a losing battle. The women themselves are making your job difficult. FD, it's not drawing attention to negative attention to the women. The women are behaving negatively. They're speaking negatively. They're assholes, bro. And you know it. They're sexist, mean, condescending, rude, sassy, smug, materialistic, consumerist assholes. And they don't even got the money and the status to back it up. And we gonna let them starve, and we gonna step over their starving ass bodies as Kim Foster gives them encouragement talk with her antagonizing of black men. I hope they got Wi-Fi under that bridge. Huh? I hope she has enough room in that car that she gonna be sleeping in. Kim Foster's gonna be okay. Keating Jade's gonna be okay. Khadijah's gonna be okay. Nappy Head of Hoba's gonna be okay. These people are gonna be okay. The vast majority of their subscribers, though, on that line, they on that borderline. We seen the numbers. We know what black women make. 106,000 jobs in 1 month, FD. In 1 month, they lost 106,000 jobs. Huh?
Black women, they are doing the same thing to us that they did to black men 40 years ago, which is pushing us out of the workforce. That's what they did to black men. And that is what caused the major divide within our community with regards to the gender wars. We saw black men the way they wanted us to see them because they didn't have the upward mobility that we had because of our jobs that we were able to get in the federal government. For one, the federal government was one of the biggest job employers for black women, and they're pushing us out left and right. We lost more jobs last month than any other demographic, and those jobs are not coming back. And if they come back, they not gonna give them to us. I don't care what degree you got, because you can see right now they don't care nothing about those degrees. As soon as we started getting it, they ain't mean anything anymore. I say this to say we gonna have to work with black men. Whatever grief you got with black men, get over it. It's time for us to work together. We need them and they need us, and this is just more proof of that.
FD, I want you to appreciate who you're putting the thumb on the scale for.
New ick unlock. Why the heck I just go get some ice cream, right? I get my ice cream. It's another guy in the store. He ordered his ice cream after me. Why the heck he get sprinkles on his? I ain't gonna get sprinkles on mine. And he looked a little like rough around the edges. He looked a little hood. I was looking like, interesting. Fruit Loop.
Huh? That's 836 things that women, black women in particular, find as icks, number one. Number two, FD, isn't that homophobic what she said? These are the people y'all defending. These are the people that y'all got thumb on the scale for. Huh? Yikes. What happened? Huh? We gonna make the women feel it, and they're gonna notice.
I'm having dinner with my girl, and I want y'all to just notice something. There's women, all eating there. Women, all eating there. And let's not forget right there too, because they're everywhere. Oh my god. I don't normally go out, but when I do, I go out with my girls, and I am seeing something, a trend. girls are all going out with their girlfriends. There's not like one date.
You see the look on her face? That's real. That's not made up. She's genuinely shocked. Yeah, we gonna make y'all feel that. While FD says, we're drawing negative attention. No, ain't no drawing negative attention. The women are behaving negatively, and the men said we'll reach. And even Dr. Sabrina String spoke on that. Yeah, the men are taking back romance. Y'all can whatever y'all want to do with each other, go munch on each other, go ahead and do that. We taking all that back. And now what? Hatred of women. Get the hell out of here, bro. Continuing.
It was getting me started. So I'm actually about to do is Tory Lanez the result of the patriarchy? So the obvious answer is yes. But it's not just Tory Lanez, right? So let me backtrack anybody in the audience that doesn't know. Tory Lanez is a C-tier rapper. Like, is that shade to say he was a C-tier rapper musician? Because like the A-tier is like the top tiers of Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, J. Cole, Drake, whatever. Right? If that's A tier, then to me, B tier is like Denzel Curry, Joey Badass, Billy Woods, JPEG Mafia, right? And then C tier has to be J. Cole. And C tier might be a little, not J. Cole, I'm sorry. C tier has to be Tory Lanez. And C tier might be generous. It might be D tier. Because C tier might be like Boney James, Billy Woods. A lot of the trap rappers are C tier. So Tory Lanez is probably D tier. He is most known today for being the man that shot Meg Thee Stallion in the foot. And
that's if you accept that narrative, and we don't. But don't worry. Let's give it a few months. Let's see how true it is and how not true it is. Hey, man, anything to forward y'all narrative. Anything to forward the narrative of the big scary, even though this dude's like 5'2", 5'6", and she's like 5'11". Any narrative any story to forward your narrative about the big scary black man who's just looking for a chance or reason to abuse, to assault a black woman, right? Anytime y'all get a chance to forward that story, y'all take it. And y'all have been taking L's lately, rightfully so, huh? Because everyone heard you. The women heard you. The women said, oh, wait a minute, I can get sympathy and maybe some money and maybe some support online on a Negro? Oh, yeah, you better believe I'm going to do that. Oh, you better believe I'm going to do that. And they do. Yikes. Huh? We'll see how true or not true it is. Continue.
I'm not going to undermine abuse, but I don't want to hyper-focus on the specific harm that he did to Meg, because the question was he a result of patriarchy? So the answer is yes. But what I think is more significant to talk about, at least what I would want to add to the conversation, is the way that his assault of Meg Thee Stallion has propelled him to levels of relevance that he's never seen.
That's if we accept that, and we don't. Continuing.
Has become a constant trigger point for red pill type dudes and red pill adjacent type dudes. The economic engine of being violent toward black women. To me, that's a bigger conversation.
The economic engine of being violent to a black woman. Once again, intersectionality rears its ugly head. Once again, standpoint theory. Once again, look, if you elevate me, you automatically elevate everyone into this society, because we're the most put upon in this society. I'm black plus woman plus LGBTQ plus I have astigmatism plus I have autism. Oh boy. The economic engine of being violent towards black women. And of course, the face of that is black men. You better believe it. Hey, what that interracial marriage rate look like for black men? Yikes. Isn't it increasing every day? God damn. Oh yeah, black women say they don't care about marriage. They ain't even getting partnered though. Oops. By anyone, not just even by black men. and that same-sex loving rate is increasing for black women, is it not? Yeah, it better. Shout out to all the women. Love is love. You can't help who you love, Z. Yeah, that's it. Huh? Shakespeare says, plus I have astigmatism, plus I have autism, dog. I'm in the office and I had to hold back cracking up laughing. Bro, that's how they sound. They start stacking. It's annoying everyone. Even the white progressive and liberals are like, God damn. Everybody realized that white women and black women are weaponizing this crap, this intersectionality crap. Everybody see it. It's not just conservatives and racists. Everyone see it, and it's annoying. Because what they do with that is they use that as a tool to tell everyone else to shut up. They use intersectionality. It's not intersecting. It's like a layered cake. And they stack those. I'm black, plus I'm LGBTQ, plus I'm a woman, plus I have astigmatism, plus I have autism, plus I'm this, plus I have that. Huh? And all of that is ways of them feeling saying, okay, now that I'm 7 feet tall, now everybody shut the hell up. As a queer, non-binary, non-da-da-da-da-da-da, I feel. No, Mr. Z used the wrong word. I said, I think. Nope. I feel like. Huh? Thank you, Indigo. Exactly. As a queer, non-binary, paraplegic, neurodivergent, I feel. And when they do that, it really is, hey, you just said you're neurodivergent. Look, I said I'm neurodivergent, paraplegic, right? And all these other things. In other words, I stacked my oppression next to yours, and mine stands 8 feet tall. Now move along, and I'll have the predominant say. We'll talk to you when we're ready. Huh? It's annoying. Everybody's sick and tired of it because the women are weaponizing it, and some LGBTQ folks are weaponizing it in conversation and every day. And what happens when people just say, you know what, we don't, excuse my language, everyone, morning profanity, we don't give a fuck. Now what? What happens when a predominant amount of folks say we don't give a fuck? Now what? Uh-oh. Huh? So FD and them, they'll make their money and they'll get their support and they'll increase their subscriber base. And will that necessarily mean better life for these folks? Absolutely not. Because for black women in particular, everybody's staying the fuck away from them, including black men. I told y'all, Mr. Z's fear was that they were going to make themselves into the gypsy or Roma class of black folks. And I said that to BGS and he said, they already are. Oh, goddamn. Well, look, you look at that. Huh? Yikes.
To me,
Continuing.
that's a bigger conversation. The thing we tend to do as we sit in day 4 or 5 of Diddy's trial, right, is we tend to hyper focus on Batman did X or Batman didn't do X and talk about it in non-systemic, non-grand scheme frameworks where we're having a discussion as to whether or not Tory Lanez is innocent. He literally is not. That's the first thing, right?
We don't know that. Be careful. Because y'all swore Carly Russell was telling the truth. Y'all swore Juicy Smouye was telling the truth. Y'all swore Brickface Rhoda was telling the truth. Y'all live by BLM's memo or mission statement, and those were some schemy ass black women just hoarding money. Y'all gonna keep on having egg on y'all face, pun intended. Huh? I know for some of you that's not a negative thing. Oops. But yeah, you're gonna keep on having egg on your face. I just want you to understand, y'all are the biggest PR for the young black men to stay the hell away from y'all, your political affiliations, your ideology, and black women. Huh? FD, once again, brother, that 1,000,000 subscribers, and don't worry, he gonna mention it. That's why Mr. Z keep on bringing it up. That 1,000,000 subscribers don't mean anything, brother. If y'all can't find a way for somebody to subsidize black women, nobody's out here doing it by themselves. If y'all can't find someone to subsidize black women, have fun. Your subscribers don't mean crap. All that crap Kim Foster popping on her channel doesn't mean anything. All that crap Olay and what's his name, consciously are popping on their channels don't mean anything. If y'all can't find, the vast majority of black women are not Olay and Kim Foster. They don't have it like that financially. They're barely making it. They're not making it. Huh? Continuing.
How you feel about the prison industrial complex, and I have feelings about the prison industrial complex. According to the laws of the country we live in, he is guilty of shooting Meg Thee Stallion in the foot. He is in jail for that crime. Ever since then, there have been constant misinformation campaigns, constant back and forths online. I just came back from the gym. Like, I'm literally still sweating. Yes, I'm eating peanuts. We got Diddy on trial. We got Tory Lanez. Oh, and he was recently stabbed. They tried to kill this nigga in jail. Which is why I'm against prisons. They tried to kill this nigga in jail. He was stabbed, what, 17 times? Something like that? It couldn't have happened to a better person, but it's still not okay.
And there you go. Oh, hey, bro, we gonna make you. Hey, every time y'all dance on a black man's misfortune, we gonna make you mean that. Yes, y'all heard right. He said it couldn't happen to a better person. Y'all heard right. We gonna. Hey, I want FD. You're married. We gonna make sure the vast majority of. Oh wait, the vast majority of black women aren't married. Ooh. And shout out to you, Jason Black. That means something. That's money. Shout out to Black Uru. Somebody got to pay for these hoes, and we ain't doing it. And guess what? JD Vance and Donald Trump said, yeah, and the government ain't doing it neither. FD, keep being smug, keep being antagonistic. We got sun for that ass. You gonna be straight. You and your wife and your sons are gonna be straight. The rest of these black women, we got sun for that ass. We're moving away. Do you appreciate what white men are on right now while y'all being antagonistic? I thought y'all was supposed to be the smart ones. We got something for that ass. Huh? Why y'all being antagonistic and being assholes? We got, I hope y'all got the type of money to fund all of them. The vast majority of black women are struggling, bro. They're barely holding on. And it's gonna get worse. Oh, we got sun for that ass. Huh? I suspect, and it may not be FD, I suspect in the next 5 years, I actually think it's going to be shorter than that, you're going to see these people slowly moonwalk into trying to shame us to do for the women. Right now, they're being antagonistic. Right now, it's you couldn't. I couldn't find. There is nobody better that it could have happened to. Okay, right now it's that. Slowly but surely, you go as this shit bites down. Because I promise you, even if there's a Democrat that gets into office, huh, in 2028, they're not going to reverse much of what Trump did. They're not. And you're going to watch the FD types try to shame black men into some quote unquote community. They're going to try to shame black men with this community talk to do and to look out for black women. They're going to try to shame you with community talk, with family talk. Huh? We got some for that ass. The majority of black women aren't professionals. They're not making $80,000+ a year. They're not. $100,000+ a year. The vast majority of women, namely black women, the difference is, I promise you, white women got enough to be single, and most of them are still not going to try to do it. Black women, on the other hand, they're going to keep on with this. We got some for that ass. Right? Sounds nice. FD over here saying there couldn't be a better person for this to happen to type talk about Tory Lanez being stabbed up. Hey, I'm not caping for Tory Lanez. What I'm saying is there isn't a black man, who y'all wouldn't mock and make fun of in this case. Meg Thee Stallion is a violent drunk, bro. Look her up. Meg Thee Stallion is a violent drunk. Mr. Z said it now. FD, if and when this is proven in the next few months, I want to know what you're going to say when we have caught y'all up being on the wrong side of history. Not once, not twice, not even 3 times. in a short ass span too. We're not talking about 10 years. No. We're talking about 2-3 years. Y'all keep being on the wrong side of history. But y'all would rather be on the wrong side of history than the wrong side of lying ass, scheming ass black women. Okay, don't worry about it. Black women who are lying on black men that look like you. Oh, I forgot. Y'all gonna keep on kissing their ass, and that way, you won't ever be on the wrong side of them. Okay, yeah, that's it. They think it's their right to lie on you, and not in a good way either. Continuing.
Talk about I've made videos about it, but I kind of want to get into it here because I want to stay on the topic at hand. So Tory Lanez almost get killed in prison. P. Diddy's on trial. I guess I'm seeing in the chat Chris Brown just got arrested. There's reports. I don't know.
Yes, y'all heard that. That's cheering in the background. Hey, I'm happy. Y'all go full on antagonistic. Why don't you? We got something for that ass. Hey, I said it again. I'm going to keep on saying the vast majority of women aren't Khadijah. They're not Kim Foster. They're not nappy-headed Hoba. They're not Teen War. They don't got it like that financially. They're struggling, and we ain't going to help. Huh? You better hope she got some male siblings. Huh? All that cheering it on and mocking and making fun of these men, all that sound nice. Huh? The black women get all moist thinking about these men suffering. We got something for that. I hope you make enough, ma'am. For all of the women in FD's comments laughing, and it's fun. It's a good old time. Huh? I hope you make enough. Huh? I hope you and your mom don't get into an argument about the cereal and she don't kick your ass out. And being in the black family, she might kick your ass out. We all know it. We all done heard the stories. Huh? For your sake. Huh? I hope you and your younger sister or your older sister have good rapport. Knowing black women, they probably don't. I hope you have a good relationship. I hope if you fall on hard times financially, you're already on hard times financially. I hope she's willing to look out. I hope she's willing to let you move in. Yikes. Huh? So y'all go ahead and laugh it up about Tory Lanez and Chris Brown and Diddy and all of that. I'm not caping for these guys. I'm not defending these guys. I'm saying the way y'all are responding to this, alrighty then. We got something for that ass. Huh? What you thought? Let me get this right. The people that believe in voodoo and hoodoo and karma and all this other stuff think they can be antagonistic and ain't nothing gonna happen. Oh, I forgot. It only works one way. Oh, okay. Huh? They think they can dance on your misfortune and everything gonna be all right. Oh, yeah, Z, you got it wrong. Yeah, because they could dance on your misfortune, but you can't say anything wrong about theirs. Yeah, you're right. Huh? Yikes. Continue.
There's reports. I don't know the details, but DDG, I think is his name. The one that had a baby with Haley. He was having baby mama issues with Haley. I don't know if he was charged, but she has filed a restraining order after a physical altercation she had with him. But it's a rough week for certain type of niggas in the spotlight. I wanted to be empathetic to DDG, and I don't know a lot of details about that story. I tend to be empathetic toward men dealing with custody issues because that's kind of like an unspoken, really unfair system. A system that
no, say it the way it needs to be said. The women use the system against the men. The women weaponize the system against the men. I'm telling y'all right now, he gonna blame patriarchy. Of course, Mr. Z listened to this once over already. Get ready, here y'all go.
Is bad because of patriarchy as well. I did a whole video about
that.
There
you go.
But if he's out here physically assaulting the mother, like that's rap. You lose. That's it. That's it.
Hey, shout out to y'all and y'all. Hey, Mr. Z is not. Mr. Z literally has sisters. Mr. Z is not about being anti men with daughters. With that, this women can do no wrong in relationship to men that y'all got going on in the black community. We gonna make them mean that. We gonna make y'all mean that. Hey, shout out to all you fathers. I hope you got that spare room your daughter in. She gonna be in there forever. Huh? You're gonna be updating that room every 10 years. Don't worry about it. She gonna be in there forever. We gonna make sure of it. Oh, the men are the ones who are staying home with their parents. Yeah, because the parents are subsidizing the daughter who lives away. Don't worry, she gonna be in your house forever. We got some fat ass college degree or not. Huh? Continuing.
And if that's true, it calls everything into question that he's been saying about the problems between him and his baby mother. And Terry Wacky, I want to be clear. Terry Wacky says, Teraya Wacky, I'm sorry if I'm fucking that up, says so many baby daddies say that, and that is true. And this is kind of where I occupy a difficult space sometimes, because so many baby daddies.
You don't occupy a difficult space. You chose your side, and you're good. You're married with kids. You're okay, FD. The vast majority of these women you caping for are not, and we're gonna make sure they get it on their own. If they're not gonna not be okay, if they're gonna be okay, they're gonna get it on their own. We're gonna make sure of that. Huh? As my title said, we gonna make you mean that, and make you mean that means black men's indifference to your plight, black men's apathy. Huh? Black men are gonna make themselves scarce, rightfully so, just like they doing in the HBCUs. Oops. Y'all better date each other. Wait, y'all already doing that. Huh? Y'all better share men. Oop, wait. Y'all doing that too. Y'all better go be the sexual plaything for the white guy and hope he marry you. Ooh, wait. Y'all doing that too. Goddamn. Huh? Is that really working for y'all? Any of it? No. Oops. Highest DB rate in America, or highest DB rate amongst couples, at least. Same-sex loving black women. Well, when you look at that, yikes. Huh? Continuing.
Baby daddies do say, my bad, teriyaki. Oh, teriyaki. Right. My bad. I end up in an awkward space because patriarchy is a very well-oiled, complex machine. And what patriarchy does is it creates spaces for different takes to exist within this ecosystem. The industry of misogyny and misogynoir content. That is why we know who, most people know who Tory Lanez is. I don't care how good you think his fourth mixtape is. Nobody here knows who this nigga is. This nigga doesn't really have hits like that.
Look, this time, I want y'all to, this is him channeling his inner bitter black woman. Who is this nigga? This nigga don't make no real, I mean, nobody cared. Nobody even knew who this nigga was until Meg Thee Stallion. Meg Thee Stallion made him. Okay, all right. Huh? Who is this nigga? Okay, all right. Nobody knew who he was. Okay, that's not true, but all right, FD, we hear you. Huh? Channeling the frustration of them black bread tube women you be around, huh? That you in community with, huh? Yeah, we hear you. Yeah. Tory Lanez was a nobody. This nigga wasn't rich, huh? This nigga didn't sell no music. Nobody knew who Tory Lanez was. That's why Meg Thee Stallion had him in the goddamn car. Huh? That's why he was at the Jenner's house. Huh? That's why he was piping Meg Thee Stallion and her friend. They was trying to make a move on Jenner. Or whatever her first name. Kylie, whichever one it was. Huh? Because he's a nobody. Yeah, that's it. Nobody knew who this nigga was, but yet he had his dick in two women's mouths and was trying to have his dick in a third woman's mouth. Yeah, because he's a nobody. Okay. All right, black women, I hear y'all. I ain't even gonna address FD no more. That nigga don't matter. It's all about the black women behind him that's sending him on the send-off mission. I hear y'all. This nigga was fucking two black women and was about to pipe a white woman. And Meg Thee Stallion, hating ass, fucked everything up. That's what happened. And y'all know it. But he was a nobody. Hey, imagine this. Famous ass Meg Thee Stallion was getting piped down by an under 5 foot, 5'2", 5'6" tall, nobody ass nigga. That's not something to brag about. Huh? He was piping her and her friend, but he's a nobody. That's not something to flex about, FD. Huh? So let me get this right. Tory Lane's pogo sticking down both of their throat, both of their esophagus, and he's a nobody. That's not something. Huh? Huh? That's that. He's a nobody, but yet he's fucking two and about to be three at the same time. Yeah, not something to brag about. Not something to flex about. Continuing.
He's only big in certain pockets in Toronto. I didn't even know he was from Toronto. I didn't know that nigga was short. I still don't know how this nigga was ever relevant enough to be hanging with Meg Thee Stallion, but that's a whole other conversation.
I'm glad. Look, FD, you're sounding like a bitter black woman, bro. That's not even to take away from your manhood. You're channeling their anger and resentment. Who is this nigga? Who's this nigga? I don't even understand how he was able to fuck. Hey, these hoes want to get fucked, nigga. That's why. And them other Hollywood niggas ain't fuck. Hey, I'm probably Tory. Meg Thee Stallion gonna mess around and be Vivica A. Fox in 30 years. Huh? All that shit sound nice. What y'all talking about? Y'all are watching Tracee Ellis Ross lose her shit. She's throwing a temper tantrum all over the goddamn internet. Huh? Y'all are watching Tia Mowry do all this weird shit for attention. Y'all are watching it happen and y'all still stand on. These women are miserable. They're angry because what they were promised were men that would pay and shut the fuck up. And the men said about that. They were promised tall, good-looking men that would pay and shut up. And we got stuff for that ass. How was Tory able to be? See, you still only talking about Meg. Be clear. This is why y'all are disingenuous. Y'all not framing it right. Tory was fucking Meg Thee Stallion and the other homegirl, and he was trying to make a move on Kylie off front of them. That's what the argument was about. Huh? Huh? And Lime says, actually, no one promised them anything. Nobody overtly promised them anything. What I'm saying is what was implied, subtly suggested to women, including black women, is don't worry about no men in high school. Don't really worry about them in college, right? Go make your money, go do your thing, go live your life. And along the way, it's gonna be your knight in shining armor who's gonna kiss your ass, pay for everything, and let you ride his face until his mustache burn off. And he gonna like it. Huh? And the women are throwing a temper tantrum. And as Kim Foster said, they're grieving. Huh? As Tracee Ellis Ross said, they're grieving not having that. Huh? All that shit that he's talking sounds nice. But how do women really sound?
So if you're making $50,000, don't date.
What?
I'm just being for real. You're not ready to date.
Again, I'm with you when
You're not ready to date because courtship costs. Okay. Everything costs. Okay. You can go for 22 walks in the park. Eventually, Shorty is gonna need a sip of something. She gonna be thirsty. This bottle of water is $3 in Atlanta. Let's not play. So if you don't have any expendable cash, don't date. And whatever that looks like for you, you might only make 50,000, but you live in a shoe, and now you got expendable cash. Or get you a bottom of the barrel bitch that's gonna date you when you have no money. If she doesn't have that expectation, and I'm gonna tell you this right now, enjoy it while it lasts, because eventually you're gonna wanna run. Because she doesn't stretch you, she doesn't make you the man that you need to become. She allows you to be this stagnant dude in the same jeans for days. You know what I'm saying? Be cutting up. I'm just talking about.
Yeah.
I miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
Said if you are broke and I choose to deal with you, I will belittle you. It is what it is.
Huh? FD, that's how the women sound. Uh-oh. Huh? Not these little hapless, helpless, innocent creatures who men come around and fuck up their lives. Who was Tory Lanez before Meg? That nigga knows. Nobody know who this nigga is? Okay, yeah, that's it. Oh, that shit sound nice. Huh? Nobody know who he is, but yeah, he's fucking Meg and her friend. But nobody know who he is. Okay, yeah, that's it. Continuing.
Say he has Nandre. I'm just saying, if I release this as a video on the streaming channel on YouTube, I'm gonna put him on the thumbnail because he's gonna draw attention. There's an industry, especially online, of misogyny and misogynoir. And I want to be clear: misogyny is the hatred of women. Misogynoir is the hatred of black women. And people do.
I don't know how many people hate, how many black men hate black women. Have you ever considered that what black men are now are indifferent? Not hateful indifference, indifferent. Because what America and, well, better yet, Z say it better. What Black America is attempting to do is badger and pummel black men into bowing to black women. Y'all are using all different phrases and words, weird ass theories, but it really is protect, provide, and shut up. Whether it's say her name, whether it's y'all weaponizing intersectionality, whether it's y'all throwing a bell hooks book in our face every 5 seconds, a Audre Lorde quote, huh? Whether y'all took the book or the movie, better yet, the book and the movie, Color Purple, and turned it into a goddamn documentary, whether it's creating these fictitious characters like Bigger Long in the Harriet movie, it really is to shame and badger black men into protecting, providing, and shutting up, moving out of black women's way, so they can run the black community and they can kiss white ass how they deem fit. Huh? May the Alchemist, hysterical, says, when will you surrender to the gynocracy? The gynocracy is running on fumes right now because it was built off of white women's largesse. The black female gynocracy, I'm not saying it's dead, is built off of white society's tampering in black community internal politics. What's his name? John Perkins? I can't remember. The author of goddamn. I'm gonna get y'all right now. Economic Hitman. The Confessions of an Economic Hitman. Goddamn, Z, you almost forgot. Okay, The Confessions of an Economic Hitman. If America is doing stuff like that overseas, literally tampering with the internal politics of foreign nations, propping up insurgent groups in foreign nations, not for the betterment of the nation, but for the betterment of American foreign policy, usually to get some goddamn resources on the cheap. Huh? If America is doing that overseas, espionage overseas, halfway around the world, funding rebel groups to the tunes of billions of dollars. If America engages in that overseas, what the hell you think America is doing with some 12 to 14% of its domestic population who it already sees as a permanent underclass? Huh? So while FD is spouting all this shit, that shit sound nice. And black women have done what exactly over the past 40, 50 years with their position? Other than badger everyone to make them politically and socially white women. What else have they done? Oops. Other than try to shame white men to marry them. What else have they done? Goddamn. Huh? What else have they done? I'll wait. Other than use every goddamn opportunity to tell black men protect, provide, and shut up. Other than trying to shame black men into not exercising their options, even though black women are assholes. Well, there's that. Continuing.
Do things to draw attention to negative attention to the things that women do. And we eat this shit up. And it's not just red pill dudes, although they are the core audience for this. But understand, red pill ideology is not radical. Red pill ideology is just one notch away from regular attitudes towards women. I want y'all to get that. Like, we look at the...
And that is his way of low-key responding to Z. Whether he actually heard Z say this before or not, the overall sentiment. Red pill ideology is not radical. What is red pill ideology exactly? Isn't it that just being aware? Aware now concerning relationship between men and women, black men and black women in this case, being aware of how black women can weaponize, well, niggas like you against the masses of black men, being aware that black women can weaponize the institutions against black men, being aware of divorce and what that does to black men. Huh? I'll give y'all this. Being aware of how non-black women may fetishize black men, may use black men to snub non-black men. So red pill ideology not being extreme is just a notch, is just one step different than average attitudes towards women. You mean asshole women? You mean women that try to weaponize niggas like you against us and we don't give a fuck about what you talking about? Not concerning women anyway. You mean that? Red pill ideology. And the problem is, oh wait, I forgot, men are supposed to be dumb and naive and then wake up what, in divorce court? That's when they're supposed to realize, oh wait, they're not even supposed, they're supposed to still blame themselves in divorce court. Oh boy. Sorry for yelling in you guys' ears. So let me get this right. Red pill ideology is not radical. It's not extreme. It's only one step away from your normal worldview. Okay, cool. And I wonder what's helping this. Is it just us content creators? Is it just the algorithm pushing this to the young men? Could it ever, have y'all ever considered it's the women's behavior and the girls' behavior? Have you ever considered what Pop the Balloon is doing to the national conversation? What it's doing to the black community's conversation? Have you ever considered it? Have you considered what all of this get the money conversation amongst women, black women in this case, is doing to the conversation amongst black men and black women? All this life and luxury. Have you ever considered even the Kim Fosters and them intellectualizing their misogyny, what that's doing to the conversation? So it's just the algorithm, it's just Google and YouTube and Alphabet pushing this, it's just Facebook and Instagram pushing this to antagonize the women? No, it's not the women. No, it has nothing to do with them. Oh, absolutely not. Huh? Yikes.
Look at the
Continuing.
red pill a lot of times as if they're extremes, and they are, but their extreme is only a few spots away from where people normally exist when it comes to attitude towards women. That's why it's so easy for people to fall into red pill ideology, because it goes from
Attitude towards women. It's as if we live in an alternate universe where the men have these preset negative ideas about women. The women, on the other hand, are these innocent, helpless, hapless creatures. No negative ideas about men, and it's definitely not negative ideas about men that will harm men. And those negative ideas, if they have them, we're not even admitted that they have them, but if they have them, it's justified because of the way the men behave and what men allow for. Now, the women don't allow for anything negative over there. Absolutely not. Huh? They don't see the men as walking wallets and overglorified guard dogs. Nope. They don't see the men as status symbols. Nope. They don't think it's the men's job to die for them, even if she has done nothing on planet Earth. You could be goddamn Einstein. This chick ain't do nothing, be a nuisance to everyone. And if that boat is sinking, it is your job to die for her. Huh? The women don't have no negative ideas, right? No, 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 absolutely not. Nope, nope, nope. That's the men. That's the men. Huh?
it
Continuing.
goes from it's only a few steps from, women should respect themselves, and a real woman should do this, that, and the third, and there's too much degeneracy online. It's only a few steps from takes like that, which people can say in public and get away with, to women shouldn't be able to vote. Like, it's not that big a gap. For 100 years in this country,
I like what you're trying to do with being hyperbolic here. Mr. Z engages in the hyperbole, so I appreciate it. I see what you're doing. I see it. Huh? Yikes. Continuing.
women weren't allowed to vote. I'm pretty confident that this country has
And this
existed
has to do
longer
with what
women
we're
not
talking
having the
about.
right to vote than having the right to vote. So, like, it's important to understand that the red pill and red pill ideology is not some huge leap for most people, including women. There's also just plenty of women that are willing to play into that world. That's why Fresh and Fit and the Whatever podcast get tons of girls to appear on their channels, on their content. So, and I'm not saying this on some but the women shit. I'm just pointing out that red pill ideology and misogynoir are normal in our society. So,
and there you go, everyone. So, dear ladies, what they're saying is, even when you say, yeah, you know what though, but I have a whole lot of homegirls that say some really fucked up shit about men. Well, it's the patriarchy. So the men saying something negative about women is patriarchy, yes. And the women admitting that women have negative proclivities is patriarchy, yes. So what exactly isn't patriarchy? What ills can we accuse the women of participating in that's not patriarchy? Uh-oh. It's all patriarchy, apparently. Huh? He low-key called the women that go on to Fresh and Fit and the whatever podcast and the like coons. They're pick-me's, they're sellouts. He didn't use those words, but that was the sentiment, right? Ah, this is where we are now. So no matter what the women say, no matter what they do, it's always going to be somehow blamed on a system or on the nearest man, black man in this case. The women are going on to Fresh and Fit because they want to be seen, because they want to be the one to catch Myron up. They're going on to whatever podcast they want to see. They want to advertise. They think they're going to catch up Adam. That's why. You see, they sassy ass. What's the guy's name again? That be on the whatever podcast? The one that be catching the women up. Easy, quick work. Huh? The women see, they watch the whatever podcast. They think they're going to be the one to finally catch these guys up. They think they're going to say something new. And essentially what he said is these women have internalized misogyny. Oh boy. Huh? Oh man, thank you for the info, Starman. And Starman says 110 viewers, 41 likes. Tighten up, y'all. Tighten up. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Huh? Talking about super chats. And Adric said, FD trying to lynch black men. Look, these people they chose their side. They chose their side. Every time a woman gets caught up doing something heinous to a black man, they just think that, well, every once in a while, huh? They chose their side, bro. It's not about necessarily lynching black men. For them, the women are punching up. The women on the right side of history. The problem with the men is that, particularly black men, is that you are too steeped in trying to be a man. Goddamn, Z. The problem with black men is that you think you can actually be a man. They take Dr. Tommy Curry's man not, and they kind of flip it in this perverse way of saying, why are you even aspiring to be that? Why don't you try to be more like us? Shout out to you, Khadijah. Huh? Stop attempting to masculinize yourself. Why? See, the problem with you is you think everything is LGBTQ. And if you would change your worldview, and if you would try to imitate us, maybe you'll be less threatening to the white powers that be. Maybe if you bent over for the white man, then maybe he wouldn't see you as a threat. And maybe your life would go a little bit easier if you spoke more like this. See, if you spoke more like this, and you had a bit of sway in your hips when you walked, right? And you back that ass up on the white man real good, then maybe he wouldn't be trying to oppress you, or maybe he would be trying to oppress you in a different way. Huh? I'm not sure so much if it's lynching black men as much of it is, no, the problem with you, black man, is that you're trying to be a man. Huh? The problem with you, black men, is that you're overcompensating for not being a white man. You're hyper masculine. Huh? The problem is that you're attempting to be a patriarch, and you and other black men are attempting to erect some type of patriarchy, but then you don't even have the resources. Not just that, not only that, but because of your failed attempt at some type of patriarchal community, black women get the worst of everything. At least white women get to be white. At least they get some type of status. At least there's some type of implied and inferred status on being white. Black women get black men's oppression without even the status and the money. So maybe you should let go of that project, black man. Huh? So I wouldn't say it's trying to lynch black men. In their minds, they're trying to liberate black men from the performance of manhood. Because you're the worst kind. You're going to be a fake man. Y'all know about fake gangsters and fake thugs, right? And the worst people are the fake gangsters and the fake thugs because they do too much trying to prove that they are. That's how they see you, black man. Why don't you just be you? Stop trying to be a man. And as Khadijah said, being a straight man seems so exhausting. It doesn't seem fun. Huh? And she literally said, why don't you try being fruity in the booty? But that was on a different stream. Yes, she did. Mr. Z's not making up. Yes, she did. Yes, in those words. Yes. Huh? They just think it's a big ass performance. Once again, this is where postmodernism comes in. Nothing is nothing and everything is everything. Men being men is just a big ass performance. There's nothing innate. Huh? And they could socialize you out of it. And the more they attempt to socialize you out of it, and the more you resist, or the more it doesn't take, the more you prove them right. That your big problem as a black man in particular is that you're trying way too hard to be a man. And to perform manhood in a way on your own terms. If you're going to be a man, then why can't you be the type of man that protects, provides, and shuts up around and for black women? Huh? This is when they try to poke at your ideas of manhood and patriarchy and, maleness and gender performance. Huh? Continuing.
Society. So, like, when we get to the Tory Lanez, I don't know why he was stabbed, right? And I'm not gonna. I don't think him being stabbed is an act of feminist justice. Like, I don't want people to think that. But first off, you in jail. There's a whole lot of reasons you get stabbed. But there's always been, ironically or paradoxically, a patriarchal drive to protect women because they can't protect themselves. That's two different things. There's protect women from a feminist standpoint, and then there's protect women from a patriarchal standpoint.
Mr. Z said, "Fuck both of them." If women ain't gonna get on black men's program, if black women are not gonna get on black men's program, I'm not about protecting them from the feminist angle or the more patriarchal angle. Let them be out there. Whatever happened to them, happened to them. If the white man want to take their head off, I'll just move out the way. Mr. White Man, are you trying to kill me? Not right now, nigger. Okay, fine. Moving along. Is this sustainable? Absolutely not. Is this what the black women asked for? Yes. Huh? Can you maintain a community like this? Absolutely not. Is this what black women asked for? Yes. Huh? This goes back. This is what goes back to what Sarge was saying the other day, when Mr. Z was saying the other day, and this goes back to the stream that BGS created responding to Sarge. These folks think that black men owe black women. Black men owe black women. For slavery and Jim Crow, you are always paying a debt. They don't got the ovaries or the balls to say it. You owe her because you got her out here in white America land, not being able to perform womanhood, and you owe her. And everything about you is wrong until you make it right, which is making her politically and socially, obviously economically, a white woman. Huh? Continue.
Women that don't quite know the difference. They're happy either way. Either one of them's fine with them. People accuse me of being red pill.
And they will get
how
neither.
much more money I could make if I was actually red pill? Y'all know I just hit 1 million last month. I just hit 1 million subscribers.
They're gonna brag.
Y'all know Kevin Samuels was at 1.5 million within a year. He was mocking the inmate significant other. Is that what happened? All this shit.
Kevin Samuels was at 1.5 million in less than a year because Kevin Samuels was saying something that we haven't heard in a very long time. Kevin Samuels was saying, yeah, maybe women aren't these little innocent, helpless, hapless creatures. And guess what? I'll have them show to you. What Kevin did inspiring to many is that Kevin let the women talk. Kevin didn't go to women that knew exactly what to say, how to say it, and how to frame it in ways where they were saying really fucked up things about men, but knew how to frame it in a way where the white academics can understand. No, Kevin let everyday women, whether she was professional, whether she was blue collar, white collar, whether she was light skinned, dark skinned, whether she lived on the East Coast or the West Coast or the Midwest or down south or the Pacific Northwest, Kevin let women talk and use their own words. Kevin let women tell you the truth as best as they could, often not the best. That's why Kevin was able to garner and gain so many subscribers in such a short amount of time. Kevin did what you won't do, FD. He let the women talk for themselves. He let the women put their foot in their mouth and he moved out the way. Kevin didn't just have a camera up for the Olays and the Kim Fosters that knew exactly, that know how to say, and I'm not saying Olay does this all the time, but know how to say fucked up things about men, but frame it in a way where white feminists would be like, okay, I understand. Huh? Kevin spoke to the Keating Janes, excuse me, the Keating Janes and the Delaney's, and let them say what they really mean, not hiding behind 4 and 5 syllable words, not using feminist theory to say fucked up, sexist, misandrist things. No, he used everyday Delaney's and everyday Keating Janes and let them talk for themselves, and they boiled men down to walking wallets over glorified guard dogs and cheerleaders. Huh? Oh yeah, obviously. And 12-inch members. Huh? And that's very important to point out. St. Cyr says the women sought out Kevin. He didn't ask them to come on and say the things they said. Thank you. This is very important. Kevin didn't have bulletins up begging women. The women called in. Many of them thought they were going to catch Kevin up. Imagine thinking you're going to catch a man up, trying to convince him that him and other men, black men, are supposed to be walking wallets over glorified guard dogs and cheerleaders and sex toys and be happy about it. Imagine thinking you're going to convince men to go along with that for your presence. Ooh, goddamn. For nothing more but your presence. And whatever funky degree that you have that you're in $80,000 in student loan debt for. So the women called in because they were getting off on the idea that they were going to catch Kevin up. The women called in because they were trying to advertise their services to a potential husband. The women called in just to have fun. The women called in for a number of reasons. Huh? And listen to FD's rationale here. If he was making red pill content, he would have way more subscribers because Kevin was able to gain how many subscribers in how short amount of time? Yeah, because Kevin was doing what y'all won't do. Kevin actually, for the first time in a long time, let the women respond to Oprah. Yikes. And to Vivica A. Fox. Oh. And to Toni Braxton and Beyonce. Eat. Huh? All of you who said, no, the women are perfectly okay single, they're happy. If it wasn't for, I would argue, if it wasn't for Kevin, maybe we wouldn't have a Tracy Ellis Ross saying how much she grieves her situation right now. If it wasn't for Kevin Samuels, Kim Foster wouldn't ever admit that the women are grieving this. Now, her framing is still off. She wouldn't admit even that if it wasn't for Kevin. If it wasn't for Kevin, the national discourse, there might not even be a national discourse about the women saying, yeah, I know y'all are saying that we're happy being single and we're good, but actually, huh? If it wasn't for Kevin, all we would hear is the men are lonely and the women are good. And we're hearing that, but that's not all we're hearing. That's all we would be hearing if it wasn't for Kevin. That's all we would be hearing. Is these lonely loser men, these incels. Well, the women are kicking ass and taking names. Huh? So while FD says if he was making red pill content, his channel would be so much larger, and look how much, Kevin was able to do in such a short amount of time. Yeah, Kevin was able to do that because he actually showed America and the world what's actually happening. He didn't allow for people like you to continue to forward and to push color purple narratives about the black community. Huh? That's what you're not appreciating, FD. It's not just red pill. Many of these guys are. I play the women speaking in their own voice. Now that I have the access to StreamYards, the backer StreamYards, I play the women talking for themselves, and you can see how they get off on the misfortunes of men. You can see how lonely they are, how bitter they are, how spiteful they are. That's what Kevin was allowing. Kevin allowed for the women to speak for themselves. He didn't cut and edit talk shows. Huh? He didn't blame everything on the patriarchy. He didn't blame everything on internalized misogyny, misogynorism. Huh? Kevin's channel blew up because before then we had a few decades, at least a couple decades of women and girls are everything right with this society. They're sugar and spice and everything nice. And the men are Beelzebub. Beelzebub. There you go, Z. You pronounced it the right way the second time. Huh? The boys and the men will ruin society. Everything about them is wrong, unless, of course, that they pay fealty to the women. Of course. But the women and the girls are sugar and spice and everything nice, particularly in the black community. And what Kevin said was, is that so? Well, here's a microphone and a camera, and I'm going to just let your daughter speak. I'm going to just let your niece speak. I'm going to just let your girl cousin speak. I'm going to just let your mama speak. Ooh. I'm going to just let your auntie speak. Yikes. Huh? I like that little two-step you did in the beginning. With bringing negative attention to women's behaviors. No, the women are speaking and acting negatively. They're bringing attention to themselves. They're bringing negative attention to themselves. Huh? Continuing.
Is another one. All this shit is an industry of the way it's easy to monopolize on the intrinsic negative attitudes that people have towards women. There's an industry, especially online.
Intrinsic negative attitudes people have towards women. What FD, at least to Z, is trying to do here is dismiss everything you're talking about. Everything y'all are talking about, everything Z is talking about. Look, it don't matter what y'all say. Y'all have intrinsic negative views about women. It don't matter what the women do or say. It don't matter what you do or say. You just have negative views about women. Translation, excusing everything they do. It's not, look, you're just hyper-focusing on her negative behavior. You're just bringing negative attention to her behavior. I'm not even, you know what? Retract that. It's not even that she's acting negatively. It's not even negative behavior. You're just bringing negative attention to her behavior. Intrinsic, he said intrinsic negative views, did he say? Huh? Towards women? Translation, we're wiping all of it. It don't matter what she does. Nigga, you're negative towards her. And that's what we're going to focus on. It doesn't matter if she deletes a newborn in the middle of time Times Square. It doesn't matter. Why are you talking about it though? Oh my God. It's probably postpartum anyway. Yikes. Huh? I'm glad we're hearing that. That means the conversation is shifting. That means they ran out of excuses. Now they're saying, and I'm glad because FD is a professional. Huh? FD is an academic. FD knows exactly what he's saying. I like that you said that. A translation. The Overton window has moved. Translation, the women have put so much media and content out there, you can't ignore it. That Pop the Balloon show, you can't ignore it. The way the women are acting on Pop the Balloon, you can't ignore it. And so much of their behavior is out there for everyone to see that all FD got now is, you know what, fuck it. Nigga, y'all have negative views about women, and that's the problem. It's just the entire world have intrinsic negative views about women, and so fuck what they do. It don't matter if she was perfect. And this goes to and Lon probably remembers this. This goes to the way Kim Foster responded to Brittany Renner, speaking about going to the gym at least 4 times a week, and essentially her attitude was, it don't matter what I do, I ain't never gonna be you. I'm never gonna be perceived as you. I'm not doing all of that for those men. That still ain't gonna put me at that level anyway. So what I'm hearing from FD here is it don't matter what these women do, whether she's perfect or not, y'all have intrinsic negative views about women anyway. That includes other women having intrinsic negative views about women. This is exactly what I'm saying, Joe. And Joe Immore says too much evidence to ignore it. And that's why essentially what he's saying is, okay, screw it. Y'all just have intrinsic negative views about women, so it don't even matter. Huh? Because the women have put so much craziness out there. Whether it's them recording themselves, whether they're on a podcast or a show, the women have spoken so crazy. They have been so out there. Whether it's videos of them trying to hit a man with a car, whether it's them crashing out on a man, whether it's them not being able to handle rejection. Shout out to everyone who says men can't handle rejection. You ain't seen shit until you see women crashing out about rejection. Huh? The women have put so much out there. The biggest hurdle and obstacle to feminists right now is social media, the internet, and other women. It's not the men or the boys. Y'all are blaming the men and the boys for pointing and saying, "Ooh, look, FD." Let's just boil down what FD said all the way. Forget Tory Lanez. This ain't really about Tory Lanez. This is about FD and other black men like FD Signifier and black women being angry and mad at the men for saying, "Ooh, look," and pointing. Not about the women and their behavior, not about how they're speaking, not that y'all sold the black community for a couple of middle management positions that black women held for all of what, a decade or okay, let's be 2 or some odd decades, and now white men said, "I'm taking all of that back." So black men saying, "Ooh, look," Kevin Samuel saying, "Ooh, look," the Roger Report saying, "Ooh, look," Mr. Z saying, "Ooh, look," BGS saying, "Ooh, look," Charles Faulkner Jr., Edward Anderson saying, "Ooh, look." That's worse than what the women are actually saying and doing. Huh? Ah. The men saying, "Ooh, look," and some of the brothers are going to disagree with them even doing that. The men saying, "Well, will you look at that," is worse than the women actually participating and behaving negatively. Okay, we hear you, FD. We hear you. We hear you, bro. We hear you. Inspired Truth says, "I'm about an hour behind, but do you recall the Shannon Sharp interview where Meg said she was involved in bidirectional DV earlier in her life?" No, I did not see that, but I did watch the clip of her actually admitting it. She was on the balcony of some hotel or something like that, and she was saying when she was 19, she got into it with a boyfriend, and she hemmed him up, and the cops got called, and I think she might even have to serve not prison time clearly, but she might have to spend the night in jail if I'm not mistaken. I watched that with my own two eyes, her admitting that. That's not what Mr. Z heard or anything, or someone said to Z. No, no, no. I watched her admit that with my own two eyes. That's why I said she's a violent drunk, bro. It's not just those incidents. Huh? And tell you what, sis. Don't believe your lying eyes and ears. Yeah, that is definitely what these folks are on. Huh? And Inspired Truth, once again, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. That is exactly what they're on. Huh? Don't believe you're lying. You know what the problem is? It's the way you're interpreting it. This is what Khadijah was essentially saying to BGF when the humiliation ritual talk. It's a humiliation ritual because the way you see it. What makes it humiliating? It's your interpretation. It's your perception. Huh? Yeah, so that don't believe your lying ears and don't believe your lying eyes and don't believe your lying ears. Yeah, that's really what they're on. Huh? What makes have these women behaving negative? What's wrong with her barking at you? Huh? What's wrong with her being sassy? First of all, I'm not even gonna accept that she's sassy. It's the way you see. See, the problem is you have a very toxic view of women and you think they should be beneath you. That's why you see her as being sassy and smug. Huh? She's not being sassy and smug. She's just responding to you passionately. Huh? Huh? And Eric Denman says, and thank you for the super chat, man, this dude sounds like a mother-raised male. It sounds like he had no male presence in his life growing up. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think his mother was obvious. I think his mom was a single mom for a good bit of his childhood, if I'm not mistaken. But for me, it doesn't even have to be necessarily personal. For FD in particular, FD says enough where you can see him, other brothers like him, and definitely black women. They're okay with watching black women suffer. They're going to find euphemisms for it, grieve. They're okay with watching black men suffer. Clearly, we know that part. That goes without saying. Huh? They're okay with watching the black community in shambles. They're okay because they are okay. They have their advanced degrees or they have their degrees from Ivy League institutions. They're doing well. They're in relationship. They're doing well financially. They have connections. So they're going to be okay. Huh? The vast majority of black folks, black women in particular, absolutely not. So whether he was raised, single mama raised or whatnot, Eric Denman, to Z, what makes what FD is doing so egregious is that you watched him just pull this essentially there's intrinsically negative view towards women. And that was his way of dismissing, or that was his excuse to dismiss everything when you see women behave negatively. Huh? When you see women behave negatively, when you see women talk negatively, and we could say, hey, bro, that type of mentality, that type of worldview, that type of speech, that type of behavior is what helps to push black men away. That type of worldview, that type of speech, that type of behavior is much of the reason why your nephews and your sons are popping up to the family reunion, the family get together, the Christmas party, Thanksgiving dinner with the Latina, with the white girl, with maybe even an Asian young lady. right? So for Z, that's what it's about, right? And once again, Eric Denman, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, say that. And Lion says, check the exit polls. Women voted for patriarchy. Asian women, white women, a nice chunk of Latina women, with about a third almost of Latina women. 20 some odd percent of Latina women, almost a third. Maybe even, was it early 30s? Something like that. 20 some odd percent of Latina women. A majority of white women. I think a majority of Asian women also, right? FD, the women don't want none. Most of women in America don't want nothing what you talking about. Even if they did, okay, let's say they did vote for Kamala, they still don't want what y'all talking about. These women want men who are going to provide for them, take care of them, look out for them, dick them down real good, huh? Eat them out real good, and pay for things. They don't want what y'all are pushing over there. These, non-binary, huh? I don't want to follow any titles. I don't follow any rules. I do my own thing. That most women ain't. They're not signing up for that. They're not. Y'all could try to gussy that up and pretty that up as much as you want. They're not going. They may not be as. How am I going to say that? They may not be as overt and loud about it as the men are, but the women ain't going. The women are not. Some women will munch on each other. Most women won't. They just won't. They're not going. Huh? So to what Lion said, yeah, most women. Look, I said this before. When you tell women what's not going to come, if you take away patriarchy, what men all will not be doing, what men will not feel obligated to do, what men will not be participating in, how men will not be behaving, the women will turn and run towards patriarchy. The thing is, the FDs of the world just refuse to say it. Very few women have the ovaries to say it, like Dr. Sabrina Strings. Very few women got the ovaries to say it. Whether they see it as positive or not, very few women have the Kim Foster gets real close, but very few have the ovaries to say it like a Dr. Sabrina Strings. As much as we disagree with her, she straight up said, "Yeah, if y'all want to try to get rid of hierarchy, romance is out the window." Huh? I can kiss that goodbye. Most of those academic women and men, they don't got the balls or the ovaries to say it. They're not gonna say it. And like I said, the first time FD ever popped up on the channel, if y'all recall, I'm going to have to bring that up eventually. If y'all recall, I was saying it's like y'all are like stripping us of these things and not saying anything. The women are throwing a fit and y'all are not saying anything. And he was like, no, 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 that's not what it is. And then that's when I invited him onto the panel. That's when I invited him to have a conversation. And he said, yeah, he has the time. I didn't forget that because that's it. That is what it is. Y'all are choking out the men, or at least at one point, choking out the men financially, put on the thumb on the scales for the women. Okay, fine, cool. And not telling the women what that's necessarily going to mean for their mating, dating, and marriage life in mass. 20% of women will be straight, maybe 25, and 75% of women, 80% of women will have nothing. They will not have what they want, and they're going to quote unquote grieve that. And y'all still ain't going to tell them what it is. Huh? Hey, see, Eric, I'm telling you. And Eric says, hey, Z, my nephew showed up to the family Mother's Day dinner with a Latina. My sister and female cousins' jaws were tight. I immediately thought about you and I made her feel welcomed. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man. Black women, we ain't signing up for this shit. Y'all could send out all the FDs and foreign man and foreign lands all you want. We're not signing up. We're not. We're not signing up. Y'all could use FD, y'all could use foreign man, y'all could use consciously to badger us. We're not signing up. We're just not. Right? So look, we gonna pop up with the Latina, we gonna pop up with the white girl. I'm not saying it's a panacea. I'm not saying some of these brothers ain't gonna get caught up. Huh? But at least the Latina will at least pretend to get on his program for a little while. Y'all ain't even pretending. The white girl, at least she gonna pretend for a little while. Huh? Y'all are not even, black women won't even give themselves the courtesy. They won't even give black men the courtesy of pretending in the beginning. So at least she can stick, hook her claws in you. She won't even do that. Huh? Gotta be the worst scammers on the planet. Y'all ain't even getting the marriage to get the money at the end of divorce. What? Yeah, Eric, yeah, you're gonna see more of that. You're gonna see more of that, right? And you're gonna see more women with their jaws tight, like you said, more black women with their jaws tight, pretending like they don't care, but they chewing real hard and they grind their teeth to dust. And you know how black women do it. Well, I don't care as long as they don't talk crap about black women. Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, that's it. Remember, they didn't used to say that. Now it's I don't care as long as they don't talk crap about black women. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's it. You do care. You just can't do nothing about it. Well, actually, you could do something about it, like behave better, but you're not gonna do that. So you ain't good. Other than that, you can't do nothing about it. Huh? Man, y'all gives you a second. And Better You says, don't pay FD. I like sprinkles on my ice cream. Look at ass. In no attention. Don't. Oh, let me play it for him. Let me see it. Do I still have it up here? Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, that's what. Why did I think I deleted it? I just played a minute ago. And let's play it again, and then we'll read the super chat.
New ick unlock. Why the heck I just go get some ice cream, right? I get my ice cream. It's another guy in the store. He ordered his ice cream after me. Why the heck he get sprinkles on his? I didn't even get sprinkles on mine. And he looked a little like rough around the edges. He looked a little hood. I was looking like, interesting. Fruit Loop.
836 things that women find as icks, namely black women, which means they find everything to be an ick. And the super chat says, and thank you, Better You, for the super chat. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Better You says, don't pay FD. I like sprinkles on my ice cream. Looking at us, no attention. He's obviously been visited by the ghost of the bitter bitch. Hysterical. Now, for real, there is, y'all realize this, right? There is this sass, this smug, this antagonism, this condescending view or action, better yet, from the FDs and the foreign mans and the conscious lees when they're talking to or about black men concerning intimate relationship with black women, or any relationship with black women, to tell you the truth. There is, first of all, there's the assumption that the black woman, whatever she says, she's correct concerning black men. Secondly, there's this knee jerk, okay, now I'm going to just be an asshole to you. So protecting black women means you have to be antagonistic to black men, mean to black men, condescending to black men, dismissive towards black men. And that's cool. Y'all could do that. Y'all could keep black women. I need me someone like FD and who talks like this, and that sound nice. And that's why I said, hey, nigga, go lobby the U.S. government to make polygamy legal, because the most of us ain't going. We're not. No. So, and I want you to understand, you're defending women like homegirl over here, talking about putting sprinkles on your ice cream is some type of LGBTQ. Huh? mention she laughs about it at the end. Meanwhile, you're being antagonistic towards black men. Huh? Meanwhile, you're being smug towards black men. Meanwhile, you're being dismissive towards black men. Meanwhile, you're entertaining, and you always see this. Women love doing this, especially on Suckus Race Channel. The second you start showing any type of, you know what, I think black men might have a point here. Here goes some random black woman. Yeah, but them niggas always say that shit. Okay, yeah. For those of you that don't know what Mr. Z is referencing, when FD was speaking about how, essentially child support, right? And parental alienation. There you go, Z. And when he was like, yeah, the court system, it's kind of used against them. And some rando, and it could have been a black man, some rando in the comments was like, yeah, but them niggas always say that. He was like, yeah, you're right. Bro, you can't have nothing. Dear black men, they said they will give you nothing. Nothing. Huh? They will give you nothing. Continuing.
Misogyny and misogynoir. And I want to be clear, misogyny is the hatred of women. Misogynoir is the hatred of black women. And people do things to draw negative attention to the things that women do. And we eat it up. Oh, Darius Williams getting me started. So I'm actually about to do is Tory Lanez a result of the patriarchy? So the obvious answer is yes. But it's not just Tory Lanez, right? So let me backtrack for anybody that doesn't know. Tory Lanez is a C-tier rapper.
Yeah, we're not going to play that over. Okay, yeah. All right, y'all. But yeah, so I definitely have to cover this. Y'all thought I was cursing just now. No, I was cursing my ass off this morning. Because it is enraging. They take stories like this and they use it to bludgeon black men writ large. Even if let's say Tory Lanez did everything they say, what they do is, see, this is indicative. This is indicative of black men and how they see black women and how they treat black women. Huh? And what I appreciate about these young brothers right now, is these young brothers are staying the hell away from more and more black women. And there's none but the most you could get from black women now is a Kim Foster saying, we grieve. You grieve how you were socialized. Translation. The young niggas are staying the hell away more and more. Black women are feeling that, so they trying to go throw themselves at the non-black guys, namely white guys. Non-black guys are smashing and tossing them back. And then black women are out here engaging in same-sex loving relationships after the fact. And then they grieve never being married and having children. And there you go. There you go. Huh? Dear black men, you're going to continue to have the FDs. You're going to continue to have the foreign mans in the foreign lands. You're going to continue to have that. You're going to continue to have the conscious leads. That's just something that's is important. That's different. My apologies, y'all. You already know. Reckless, and we're back. So yeah, no, these women are weaponizing the FDs, the foreign mans, the conscious leads against the masses of black men. We ain't going. We're not. Think about what you're asking black men to do. Accept that you're on the wrong side of history. Bow to the women. If you make some money, make sure you fund her to the highest order, and just do what she says and just be a good little boy. Imagine saying that to black men. Fuck out of here. Tell them hoes to go munch on each other because we ain't doing it. Huh? We're not doing it. And y'all can't make us. Now what? All right. I'll check them out, especially the Lil Bill one. I'm already preparing myself, mentally preparing myself to be annoyed. I'm already mentally preparing myself, right? Huh. Huh. So on that note, y'all, Passport OG says I like rated RZ hysterical. Oh, as a matter of fact, let me make sure I didn't miss anybody's super chat. No, I got all of you. Yep, 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 yep. Yeah. But yeah, and Passport OG says I like rated RZ. I Yeah, me too. But I'll probably set aside a day outside of just my panel discussions, but I might start setting out a day where I kind of am more off the cuff with the profanity and whatnot. But I want to show that we have discipline here, right? And even I'm good. If I'm going to do that, then I'm also going to set out a day where I give my best NPR voice interpretation, right? I'm gonna do my best NPR voice and 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 even reel back even the sexual innuendos because I want to show that we can be serious here. And I do think there are certain streams that necessitate you speaking like this and having a very monotone sound and making sure that your voice puts people to sleep. Right? Like there are certain streams that's going to need that. And then there's other streams like what Afro Merchant is saying, rated RZ for the win. Right? There's other streams that's gonna need that. Right? So yeah. And Vince says, because we dead ass serious over here. You feel me? Right. So yeah, no, I think we need to show that we can be serious. We're multifaceted. Shout out to Charles. I think that was perfect. We're multifaceted. And I'm, us showing that we can be multifaceted is important for the discourse. Us showing that we can be serious and we can be lighthearted is important for the discourse, right? And that we're wait for it, everyone. I know we know that we are, but apparently the rest of the world doesn't appear, including black women, that we're human beings. Oh, shout out to Vince, shout out to Dr. Green Gorilla, that we're human beings capable of virtue and vice. Ah, everybody's Brian just went haywire, who's not a black man. Wait a minute, black men are human beings? Yeah, I know. Shocker, right? Huh. And Revelat says, I'm going to send you that video. Let me know that you get it. Okay. Right. And let me read this and then we be out of here. And then Detroit says, all I got to do is sit back, watch and get Chick-fil-A. You want some? Oh man. Chick-fil-A breakfast would be dope. That would be dope. It's too late over here though. It's too late. Or it's about to be too late in a couple minutes if it's not too late already. So yeah, on that note though, and thank you for the super chat, Detroit. Thank you for the super chat. We will have to pause right here. Z got things to do. This is a reckless stream, but we can't make it too reckless, so we can't have this stream be too long. As a matter of fact, wait, we got one more minute. Let me let it hit the 2 hour mark. Let's let it hit the 2 hour mark. I didn't even realize it was 2 hours, but now I do. Okay. But yeah, y'all. So we will we'll see what we come up with next. I definitely want to bring this to y'all. Oh boy, FD. Oh boy. Look, man, this dude right here. Um, Mr. Z and his bleeding heart liberal. Shout out to BGS. black women are gonna feel this, and Mr. Z feels sad for him. No, Z, no, I do. That doesn't mean that I'm not gonna move out the way, but it does mean that when you like, yeah, like I've used this analogy before. When you tell your nephew, "Hey, don't do that," and you tell him again, "Hey, I'm telling you, don't do that," and then your sister, or your brother come around and give them the pow pow, and then they start crying. Yeah, that part. And then you just gotta be like, "What? I told you not to do that. I told you." And there you go. Life gonna give them the pow pow, y'all. Y'all just gonna have to move out the way. Dear black men, y'all just gonna have to black men in the black manosphere. Y'all just gonna have to move out the way, huh? But I'm not drowning because they're drowning. That's for sure. Especially after you threw a life raft, you gave advice and everything. No, not Z. Huh? Ah. Lion says, I've been moved. I drove my ass out of the blast range. Lion said, I'm off planet. Whatever nuke drops. Whatever nuke drops. I'm not even here. I'm not even on planet Earth. Huh? Big Mo, I think I'm gonna have to end out on this one, y'all. I'm gonna have to. This is well, let's read L's and then we'll read Big Mo. And L says, "I'll shed a tear at check-in at the airport." That's funny. That's funny. Hey, QL's active, turning back, looking at London skyline, dropping a tear, and then getting on the plane. That's funny. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Oh man, drop one solitary tear and then get on the plane with your passport waving. Oh, that's hysterical! Shout out to Destro for putting the passport as a chain on his avatar. That shit is the first time I noticed it, I was dying. I was like, not the passport as a chain, not as a necklace, not as a chain. Oh, that's hysterical. Okay, and Big Mo says Z like a lot of us loves black women enough to feel sad for them, but loves himself enough for them to make him mean what they say. Oh yeah, for them to. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yes, yes, yeah, man. Ah, yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, I don't really think we have a choice unless you're gonna drown with them, right? And that means that there's gonna be a couple of black men that drown. Let's be clear. We know that the majority of black men don't got it like that neither, but more of us got it than they do. More of us got it than they do. And as these times get tougher, some of them are going to choke on their pride and their ego. Some of them are going to go scattering. Some of them are going to try to set y'all up. Do not be the white dude that shout out to Only Logical that the black woman tin toes deleted in his own goddamn house. Please, black men, don't think they're so desperate that you're gonna flick a couple of crumbs, invite them to your house, which is stupid, and think they're not trying to set you up or whatever. Or you go to their house once again, which is stupid, and they set you up. Hey, man, right? So please, black men, be careful how you move in as they get more desperate. Be careful how you move in around the white folks. And that includes don't think them white women ain't plotting to it. And Latinas, don't think them Latinas ain't plotting. Be careful how you move around these folks. I don't want you to be paranoid, but be careful how you move around just about anyone and everyone, including your own peeps. As things get more difficult, people are going to do desperate things. Huh? Them Latinas, those white women, black women, they might consider setting you up. Huh? The men might consider robbing your ass. Right? So yeah, to what Big Mo said, yes, I do care. I do feel for them and a genuine sadness because you know how bad this could get. And you know how many black women are going to feel that. No pun. Right? And on that note, y'all, we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Right? Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content for the love of God. I'm gonna check out this Lil Bill piece that I'm Waffles put here, and I'm fully prepared to be annoyed. I don't think I'm gonna be angry though. Hopefully not. But yeah, and we'll end out right there, and y'all have a great rest of y'all day. And Mr. Z out.